In this video, you will learn how to use ELPA data on the Homeroom dashboard. To find your ELPA data containers, you want to start with your table of contents, gear at the top right corner, and you'll scroll down. It's toward the bottom of your page. Depending on your user role, you may have different things here, but everyone should have the ELPA 21 container for current students, and for now, the prior students' scores are also still available, so you can reflect on how your students from last year had done. If you click on that container label, it will take you down to see it. And then you'll notice inside of the container there are several tabs. It's hard to read the full title of each tab, and so you can click the drop-down menu to see those. And I want to stop here to just show you some, kind of get oriented to all the different tabs in this container. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs are school summaries, or yours might say class summary. And the first tab shows their overall scores, and then there's a summary for reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Anywhere on Homeroom where you see a tab that's labeled with a summary, that means it's going to show bar graphs of how students did on each performance level, how many students earned each or scored within each performance level. Then after those summary tabs, you'll see the student scores tabs. There's one which shows how they did on each domain last year. And then there's other tabs that are multiple years to show student progress. One tab, how they scored overall in ELPA over multiple years, and then one tab breaking it down by each domain so you can track a student's progress in each domain over multiple years. Anywhere on Homeroom where you see this tabs labeled as student scores, that's going to open to a tab that looks kind of like a spreadsheet with columns and individual students' names and individual columns of data, so you can see each individual student's score as you go through. So let's take a look at the summary tabs. For example, this is the overall school summary. You can also hover to review the title name here. And if anywhere where you see these bar graphs, you can hover over to see how many students actually fit within that range, or that performance level. And then if you click on it, you can also see who are the students that was. Now, this is for demonstration purposes, scrambled names, fake pictures, scrambled data, but yours would show the real students, so you can use that to plan intervention groups if you want. You can download that student list, but it will not show their data if you download it here. To download the student data from a table like this, you can click on a gear in the corner, and then you can play around to click on one of these charts. All of them download different types of data. So it's something that you just kind of have to get the hang of, and I still play around with it when I'm downloading data from these tables, which one I really want. Each of the other tabs for the summary scores are going to be similar, but they break it down by domain. And then once you get over to the student scores tabs, like I said, these will show you basically a spreadsheet. Now right now I am showing the student group of all students at a school. So some students last year took different tests. So you can see this is grade K. So this student was a kindergarten last year. The student was a first grader last year. This is first grade. This is done this way so that if you wanted to go and download this data table, then you could filter it by only the kindergarten students, only the first grade students, but you have all that data ready to download at your fingertips. If you want to look at multi-year scores, so I can click on this one and see how students have progressed over time. This shows me all students. Again, on this example, it's all students in the school and how they've done over time. And so some students, this student is probably a current 5th grader, or this student is probably a current 2nd grader, or may have exited after 1st grade. So that's, again, another way that you can look at it. You can search for a specific student if you're just trying to find a certain student and their scores. Or you could download and do a lot more sorting and filtering with the Excel spreadsheet that downloads. Those are some things you can do with the Homeroom ELPA data that's in Homeroom, and please feel free to reach out with any questions.